Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you all here today to 30 James Street for the wedding of Ryan and Jade, and to extend a very special welcome to you both. I'd like to welcome you all on this very special occasion. Today's ceremony gives you all the opportunity to meet together and to share in the happiness of Ryan and Jade as they exchange the vows of marriage which will unite them as husband and wife. These vows are a formal and public pledge of their love and a promise of the lifelong commitments they'll be making to each other. But before doing all that, I need to check we are marrying the right people. It's always a good start. So we start with the groom. Can I have your full name?
Ryan David Ford.
Thank you. And your full name, please?
Jade Elizabeth Davis.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this building in now we are met today has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of marriage. You are all here today to witness and join the matrimony of Ryan David Ford and Jade Elizabeth Davis. And if any person present knows of any lawful impediment to this marriage, then he must declare it now. Marriage requires closeness and distance. Closeness of a couple grown together, and enough distance to allow each partner to be an individual. In a marriage, a good partner will be loving and caring, but above all else a best friend. So I'm now going to ask each of you in turn to declare that there is no lawful reason why you should not be married to each other. I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Ryan David Ford, may not be joined in matrimony to Jade Elizabeth Davis. Okay, I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Jade Elizabeth Davis, may not be joined in matrimony
May not be joined in matrimony
to Ryan David Ford. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Ryan David Ford, do take thee, Jade Elizabeth Davis, to be my lawful wedded wife.
I call upon these persons
Here present
to
witness that I, Jade Elizabeth Davis, do take thee, Ryan David Ford, to be my lawful wedded husband. I think that deserves a big round of applause. What do you think?
It's finally here, the wedding of the year, as my mum would say. It's all she's talked about for the past year or so, her best friend's wedding day. To be honest, I've been looking forward to it. Man and George's suits are cool. But do you want to know the best bit? Tomorrow we get a day off school. Perhaps it's best if I talk about the happy couple. Jade will be cross if this poem is all about me. Ryan, I know you secretly would rather be back in Wigan watching rugby. Two amazing people have come together and made each other's dreams come true. Two beautiful children later, and they're here now to say I do. Jade and Ryan, we wish you all of our love and best wishes on this special day. Now it's time to begin your journey the Mr. and Mrs. Ford way.
Jade, I give you this ring
Jade, I give you this ring
as a symbol of our marriage
as a symbol of our marriage
and a token of my love.
and a token of my love.
And from this day,
And from this day,
I promise to love
I promise to love
and cherish you
and cherish you
for the rest of my life.
for the rest of our lives.
Okay. Okay, and Jade for your husband. Okay, left hand again. Yeah, about halfway. And repeat after me. Ryan, I give you this ring
Ryan, I give you this ring
as a symbol of our marriage
as a symbol of our marriage
and a token of my love.
and a token of my love.
And from this day,
And from this day,
I promise to love
I promise to love
and cherish you
and cherish you
for the rest of my life.
for the rest of my life.
Sooner or later, we begin to understand the love is more than verses on Valentine's and romance in the movies. We begin to know the love is here and now, real and true. It's the most important thing in our lives. So, your wedding today is a fulfillment of one dream and the beginning of so many others. You've both made all the legal declarations required by law. You've entered into a solemn and binding contract with each other in the presence of all your family, friends and witnesses. And it's my very great pleasure to announce everyone gathered here that you are now husband and wife. Should we seal that with a kiss?
I would like to thank you for coming to this very special occasion to celebrate the marriage of our daughter Jade to Ryan. Today is of course a celebration, but not just of the love that has united Jade and Ryan, but also of the two families that have brought up and influenced the lives of these two very special people. So I would like to extend a very warm welcome to Denise and Stephen and their family and all the relations and the friends of both families. A very big thank you to Jade and Ryan, who had very definite ideas on how they wanted today to be. Through their thoughtful planning and tireless efforts, I'm sure they have made today a tremendous experience for everyone.
So I want to start with quite a few thank yous. So first I want to thank everyone for coming. I know people booked time off work and booked hotels and things like that, so we really appreciate it. We've got people from all over the country here today, London, Reading. Extra special thanks to my mate Lloyd. Lloyd's come over from Sydney just to be here, so massive thanks mate, really appreciate it. Thanks to the bridesmaids, Joanna, Katie, Kirsty, Megan, you've all scrubbed up well and look amazing. Cost me a fortune, but I can't read. Thanks to Lydia and Steph for helping with the decorations, and also to our page boy Leighton. Leighton did a speech earlier, it was brilliant lad, and it was something he volunteered himself, so well done mate. Last but most importantly, a massive thanks to the people that made today possible. So in no particular order, Alan, Jeanette, Caroline, John, Bill and Betty, Jez and Granddad, and my mum and dad. We've been spot on today, so a massive thanks to you all, thank you. Cheers to my two baldy best men, Paolo and Alex. Sorted at a cracking stag do. So even though you're going to ruin me in a few minutes lads, I loved every second of it. In fact, before I forget, there's something I do want to give to you, so you don't ruin my wedding photos. Don't mind putting these on lads.
Neil and I have probably known each other a lot longer than before. We were watching Wigan home and away, travelling the country up and down. But a time came when we started to notice this lanky, spotty, greasy-haired Liam Gallagher wannabe following us everywhere. He was about 16 years old and still holding his brother's hand. He was back at the stand at Leeds, something like that, waving at us. Or we got to Huddersfield, back of the coach, waving at us. But at the time, thought he was quite shy, I'd say. He He was intimidated, and his idea of a Saturday night out was playing Kirby and sipping Vinto at the front of his house with his little brother, just so Denise could keep an eye on him. But after a while, Neil and I gave in, and we introduced ourselves to our weird stalker. And we found he weren't actually that bad. And in fact, we started letting him hang around with us on the provision. He stopped holding his little brother's hand all the time.
When preparing for this speech, I looked at some photographs of Jade just for some inspiration. And two in particular stood out from the others. The first one was one of our little girl lying on her side on the carpet, burpling and gurgling. And the other one was of her taking a few wobbly steps. It's the only two photos I've seen of Jade's head night, but it was myself quite special. From a very early age, Jade showed that she had like motherly, maternal instincts, shall we say, with a love of cats. I remember bringing one home in a blanket that was very sick and saying, "Dad, can you take it to the vets?" Which I did. And once the vet had one look at it, unfortunately he said it had to be put to sleep. As I was leaving, the receptionist said to me, "Mr. Davis, that's £20, please." And it wasn't even my cat. So when I went home and told Jade, she went absolutely ballistic at me and wouldn't speak to me for a week.
So me and Jade met about 8 years ago. So I can still picture this tall, pretty blonde, stood out a mile, way out of my league, but we were inseparable from the start. I knew she was a keeper. I'd never really known anybody like her. Here we go. I still remember one of the first things she ever said to me, which pretty much set the tone for the next 8 years. So she told me she once went into a kebab shop on King Street and ordered a 1/4 LB burger. £1/4 to everyone else. She promised to impress me on my first night in, really pushed the boat out by cooking my favourite meal, a tin of soup. She claimed it was homemade till I found the evidence in the bin. She thought her iPhone was heavier than my iPhone because it had more apps on it. She thought the first man on the moon was Buzz Lightyear. And she once got a phone wet, so I said, "Stick it in a pan of rice, sort it out." So she did, along with a kettle full of boiling water. She's been brought up in a brilliant family by two fantastic parents in Caroline and Alan. I'm confident by now after 8 years you both know I'll look after her. The whole family welcome her right from the off, either being a Wiganer. Alan, you might need to start saving again soon, because she's probably want to renew her vows this time next year. Think of Caroline as a second mum, even though she tried and kill me with tiramisu in our first meeting. I'll never let her forget it. My family love Jade to bits, and she's the daughter my mum never had. Before I got with Jade, my mum used to take great pleasure in telling everyone that she knew that I had plenty of lead in my pencil but no one to write to. Cheers, Mum.
I must say it's an absolute pleasure in being invited today to be part of Pemberton's production of Beauty and the Beast. I've been asked a few times about how do you prepare for speaking in front of a few people, but before I answer that, I thought I'd bring up some of the questions you might get asked in the company of Jade. Things like, how did that fly get upstairs? And the other one, when we was going to the pub the other week, it's federal French, because Jade thought it was du henu. In all seriousness, though, Jade, she's an amazing person, she's an amazing mother to George and Eliza, and I'm sure she's going to make an amazing wife for Ryan. But back to the original question, I think it's just about knowing your audience, and in this case, giving them what they want, which today is a few tales about Fordham. So we go back a long time now, but the very first time I met Fordy, he walked in with this sorry looking gang, and then after a couple of beers he eventually managed to book up some curries and came over and went, "Hello, I'm mate of Prater Pie." Now I thought it was a bit of a cruel nickname, but it seemed to fit with his sweaty, greasy, crusty look that he was going for. But I didn't realise at the time that sorry looking gang were his internet forum friends, and that was his chosen internet name. He's quite rightly got a reputation for wanting to be centre of attention all the time. It's constantly about what Fordy wants. It has always got to be in the middle on every picture. Now, I'm sure you'll all back me up today, it's been the same all day again today. I'm not saying that Ryan likes to drink, but I heard when he proposed to Jade, he just about managed to drag himself off floor onto one knee. But my favourite story is after a liquid Wednesday, he was found in the back garden asleep by the niece. She set the hose pipe up and watered him down a little bit for getting him started.
I remember the first time Jade brought Ryan to see us. As the car reversed up the drive, I rushed to the bay window, not in excitement, I just thought Jade was driving. I wanted to move all the plant pots. As the car came up the drive, I could see a stick in the back window. It said, "Wigan Warriors, Innocence and Loyal." And I thought, oh no, she brought one back from the dark side. During the time that we have known Ryan, we've come to realise just how special he is to Jade. How right for each other they are, and what a great husband, father and son-in-law he will be. And his children clearly adore him.
So it's fair to say this day's been a long time coming for me and Jade. We've been together for 8 years. 2 kids along the way, and it's nearly 5 years since that romantic morning when I got down on one knee in my underpants in my living room floor. She's never let me forget that. Dreaming of a proposal in Paris and settling for a terrace house in Penn. Hopefully today's making up for it.
Now, some people might wonder what a beautiful, young, blonde girl with so much personality and funness for expensive things is doing with this old, grey, balding man who's probably the tightest man I've ever known. But how many times Jade crashes the car? Parking tickets, and no many times. All right. And no many times Fordy goes out boozing every single weekend. It's obvious that they're absolutely devoted to one another. And in 2012, these two completely different people proved why they're the perfect match. I don't just class George William Ford as my godson, but he's also my best mate. He's intelligent, he's funny, he's cheeky, polite, and he's caring. He's a perfect creation and reflection of these wonderfully different and opposite personalities. With our beautiful goddaughter Eliza following in George's footsteps, although a little wilder, it's clear to see how lucky both children are to have parents like you two. Together you've created a loving, caring home, and you're the perfect role models for both these children. Seeing how George and Eliza are turning out, it's clear to see that you're succeeding as parents, and for that I think you deserve a round of applause. And on behalf of Neil and I'd just like to thank you for choosing us to be your best men. And the fact that you didn't even ask us, like you said at my wedding, just shows how close we are, so thank you very much.
Of course, Jade's mum and I are very proud of Jade and pleased to see her looking so beautiful and happy today. Over the years, it's been a privilege to watch Jade blossom from a gorgeous baby daughter into the beautiful woman we see here before us today. Today is a special day for Jade and Ryan. But they have had two very special days before this one, with the birth of their two much-loved children, George and Eliza. All that remains for me to ask everyone to have a good time today and this evening. And my final duty and very great privilege is to propose a toast to our daughter and new son-in-law. So would you please be upstanding and join me in a toast to the bride and groom. Ladies and gentlemen, bride and groom. Thank
So sadly for Jade, she didn't get to marry Steve and Jared today. She stuck with me. Chalk and cheese, but we clicked from the start. We've barely spent a day apart since. She makes me laugh and makes me happy every single day. Talk about landing on my feet, I know how lucky I am. So we'd all been together for 10 minutes when we were expecting George. Absolute madness when I think back. A few tears and a few worrying moments, but it was definitely meant to be. And there weren't a doubt in my mind that Jade wouldn't be an unbelievable mum. She was absolutely made for it. Eliza came along to complete the family, which also confirmed we definitely didn't want any more kids. She's raised them better than I ever could have dreamt of, and we'd all be absolutely lost without you. She's a perfect mum. She's been a perfect girlfriend, and I know she'll be a perfect wife. Jade, you look amazing today.
Thank you.
I hope today's exactly how you imagined, and here's to the next 50 years. Which leads me to one toast for everyone. If everyone could raise a glass, please. To the new Mrs. Ford.